Just explain what is going to be happening around this change in Bitcoin mining. Explain it in layman's terms for us, please.
Sure, Tom. Greetings from New York City. So every about approximately 2 weeks, the Bitcoin algorithm adjusts to make it more difficult or easier for miners to mine Bitcoin. This feature is built into Bitcoin's code because just like gold, which becomes harder to mine the more you mine it, Bitcoin also becomes more hard to mine the more you're mining it. But now less people are mining it because the Chinese government just cracked down across the country, as a result of which about 50% of all computing power that was mining Bitcoin disappeared in the last, say, 40 days. Because of that, we are expecting this adjustment that's coming tomorrow to make it much easier to mine Bitcoin. So it's good news, Tom, for everyone who's mining Bitcoin outside China.
Okay, really brilliantly put, Nishant. Thank you for that explanation. Just explain and unpack why it's good news for miners outside of China. What are the implications of this for the broader sector?
Sure, Tom. So by design, the amount you are mining or the rewards you are making are proportional to the amount of computing power that you are putting in compared to the global computing power of Bitcoin mining. Now, that share has just increased because the global computing power of Bitcoin mining just went down by 50%. So as a result, you have more portion of the global computing power now, and you will be making more rewards.
And on price, is there a direct connection to that?
David, there is no direct connection technically to the price, and because it doesn't affect the usability of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's usability stays the way it has been before this difficulty adjustment. It shouldn't change for traders, for users, for businesses. It's the same as it was before, easy or not easy. But
right.
Markets are irrational. They often they often swing according to even tweets, and so there could be some effect on sentiments of the market as a result of this record drop.
And what about transaction fees?
The transaction fees are already very high, but it doesn't affect most of the usability of Bitcoin because most usability of Bitcoin is for speculative trading. Only a minor portion of those are transactions on the blockchain where people are paying to buy coffee, for example. That will not be affected by this. However, if any change, it will only go up because there is less computing power of Bitcoin. There is a big congestion backlog of transactions waiting to be encrypted by the miners on the blockchain. Now that will take longer.
Okay, Nishant, I've heard an argument for some in the crypto space saying that actually ultimately the crackdown here in China is going to be long-term positive for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies because it's going to lead to greater decentralization. Is that a valid argument? Do you see that happening?
Sure, Tom. That is a very valid argument. In fact, Elon Musk recently pointed out how Bitcoin was centralized because when Xinjiang, when there were some accidents in the coal mines in Xinjiang, that resulted in Bitcoin's hash rate dropping suddenly. And so he pointed out that it was very centralized. And now the Chinese government just gave him a counter argument.
Okay, and that question of Tom Nishant brings up the other issue of government-backed digital versions of their own currencies there. I guess a background to why China's actually also doing this. And it's not just China, of course. Moving forward, though, I mean, can cryptocurrencies and those versions, electronic versions of those currencies, can they coexist?
Sure, David. So there's a misconception in the public that both are digital currencies, so both are competing, but both are very different. One is a digital version of the existing Chinese yuan. Basically, it doesn't rely on a blockchain technology. It is not open sourced. It can't be traded on any cryptocurrency exchange by anybody in a decentralized fashion or in a peer-to-peer fashion. So it's very different from a cryptocurrency. It is not a cryptocurrency. It doesn't get affected by existing cryptocurrencies. Both will coexist.
Okay, Nishant, very quickly before we let you go, what is your forecast for Bitcoin by the year end?
Tom, so after everything that happened, I believe that Bitcoin's value proposition as a reliable store of value has only increased because it is less vulnerable to a single. So I am very bullish on it, and I think it will break its all-time high of, say, $64,000 by year end.